All right, we'll give it some time. Doesn't show. Does it usually show how many people are in here? I can't remember.
Yeah, it does a little bit. Like, you have to give it a couple of seconds.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, we're up, it looks like.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Awesome. I should bring up mine too, just to have it up. All right. Yeah, it looks like people are coming in.
Let me post on my stories.
Oh, yeah, I can do that too.
Are you guys participating in Summerween?
Yep.
I wish I was.
I am right now.
I'm not, but just because I kind of already had all my September stuff planned and done when they announced it, so otherwise I would be.
I jumped
on next year. They should do it in like July.
Yeah.
June or July. You know, I guess, well, they didn't want to probably compete with the Reading Rush, but that may not be a thing next year. I don't know.
Rightfully so. I don't know. I kind of like, I had planned to do it, and then it got closer, and I was like, oh crap, I haven't even put together a TBR. So I put it together really fast and then jumped in.
That's it. Mine too. Yeah, I bet it's really fun.
When is it? When is the readathon? Did it start?
It's right now.
Oh,
yeah. You're too late.
Yeah.
Over, Mars.
I had too many books to read for this month, and then I mean, I'm only by book 4 right now because I just have not been wanting to read it all. So I'm like, I'm glad I didn't participate. And then next month, since September, it's my birthday, I'm like mood reading the whole entire time. I don't want to think about TBRs or anything.
Yeah.
Oh, look, Keelan Patrick Burke's here. That's so cool. I was like, oh crap. Hi. That's so exciting. I am planning to read a few of his books pretty soon. I was thinking about doing a sort of vlog, actually.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
I'm currently reading that Abigail Lane by Keelan, and I am loving it. I'm like 20 pages in.
I wanted to make that my like haunted house book for Summerween. I might just go ahead and throw that in because it's
only like 60 something pages.
Yeah. So I think I'm gonna do that.
Do it. It's really good so far.
Yeah, I was thinking of fitting right by him this week.
I'm so sad I didn't participate in Summerween. It's just because of school. School started 2 weeks ago. Like, this is our second week. And I haven't read anything since like in school time. Like, I just read on the weekends.
I feel you.
But I finished like 14 books this month already, so I don't know how I managed that, but
nice.
But it's like, because I have a lot of people who read, like a lot of friends that read romance, and like one of them in July read like 120 something books.
What?
Yeah. Yeah, so I'm like,
I
read so many. And he's like, I read 128. And I'm like, okay. Even like most of them read like
good for you.
Most of them read at least like 40 a month because their romance is so quick.
That's crazy.
Like,
romance
readers, they be reading all of the time.
Oh, what happened?
For all their emails, text to speech. Like,
yeah, that's crazy though.
Yeah, did I kick you out, Amy? Like, what happened?
No, you didn't. So apparently I was like not logged into StreamYard, so I can't post in the comments. And I was like, oh, let me try to log in. And I clicked log in and it just kicked me out. I was like, oh, yeah, okay.
I was wondering, I was like, what happened?
Yeah.
Sorry, guys.
That's okay. All right. So welcome to the Follow Me to Ground live show for Stacks of Strange. I'm super excited about this little book club, like reading all the weird books. It's going to be so much fun.
Yes.
Bunny was a lot of fun, and everyone really wanted us to read more weird books. So I thought it would be really cool to just read weird books with each other and talk about them and see what everybody else thinks.
Yeah.
So I'll go ahead and call you guys out. You guys can introduce yourselves, talk about your channels for a sec, and then go ahead and tell us what you rated the book, general thoughts. I'll warn everybody before we get into any of the spoilery stuff. But go ahead, Marcy. I'll have you go first.
Hey, I'm Marcy Reeds, and I usually read horror. I do have, obviously, a YouTube channel where I mostly do wrap-ups and TBRs, and sometimes vlogs, even though I suck at them. And I ended up giving Follow Me to Ground 4 stars. Are we talking about that already?
Yeah, you can talk about your rating. Yeah, I said that on there.
Yes. I didn't know if we were all going, and then so I gave it 4 stars. I really liked it. I listened to the audiobook and then sometimes following along on the physical book. It was weird. I don't even think I know what happened as of now. I don't know what I read, but I know that I liked it. I know that her writing kept me pretty interested and kept me flowing along, and I was curious as to what was up with Ada. So those are my thoughts.
All right. Okay, Kat.
Hi everyone, I'm Kat. My channel is Kat Chats. I read a little bit of everything. I'm participating in Summer Ween right now, if anyone else is, and vlogging for that. I am very unsure about my rating. I am giving it a tentative 3 stars. And I'm very confused about all the thoughts. So that's all I have to say.
Yeah. No, I definitely know what you mean. Okay, Amy.
So I'm Amy. My channel is Amy Reads, and I have taken like an unintended break. I have not posted a video in like 3 weeks. Don't worry, I'm still here, just being lazy. So I have like 3.5 years worth of videos you can watch. But I read I read a lot of different things. I like a lot of romance, like contemporary romance. I like weird stuff. I like sci-fi. I like fabulism. I don't know. I read a lot of thrillers, all that kind of stuff. I gave Follow Me to Ground, which I have here from the library, 3 stars. And we'll get into it more. I think I have similar feelings maybe as Kat. I think I don't know. I wanted more, and also it was too much. And I don't know. I don't know. We could talk about it more.
Deja.
Okay, my name is Deja from the channel Deja's Book World, and right now I'm really into thrillers and romance, but I'm also trying to get into horror and back into fantasy because I used to just read fantasy, but then I kind of fell out of it, and now I'm trying to get into adult fantasy, which is a time to say the least. So, because a lot of my friends read adult fantasy, so I'm trying to do it for them. And yeah, I'm pretty new to booktube, but it's really, really fun. And I gave the book 3.5 stars. I don't know, it could change. My rating always changes after live shows, and it just changes all the time in general. I go back to my Goodreads from like books from like months ago, and I'll be like, was that really a 4-star? Let me just drop it down. And like then it'll post to Twitter, and people be liking it, and I'll be like, no, let me delete that because I didn't just read that. So
that annoys me so bad, Deja. Like that's why I don't go back and physically change it, because then I have to go and change, like delete all my tweets.
Yeah, I just guess myself all the time on ratings, all the time.
Yeah. And I don't know. I don't know if I'm necessarily confused. I'm more just like, okay. Like I'm just like, that happened and that was it. I don't know how to feel. I just feel like, okay. Like I don't know how to describe it.
Yeah, no, I get you. What did you say you wanted to rate it?
3.5 stars right now.
Okay. That's kind of where I'm leaning. So if you're here, you already know my name is Rain and my channel's Brews and Binds. I typically read a lot of horror, mystery thrillers. I throw some fantasy in there every once in a while. I like graphic novels. I've recently gotten into manga and I'm loving that. But yeah, I'm leaning somewhere around 3.5 and 4. So I'm hoping after the discussion, I'll know where I'm really leaning. Right after I read it, I wanted to give it a 4. I was like, oh, it's so good. Like I really liked the writing. And I listened to the audiobook, and I think that made me enjoy it even more because the accents were really great. The narration was just great in the audiobooks. But we'll get obviously more into like the spoilery stuff. But yeah, the more I'm thinking about it now, I don't know if I'm like leaning more towards 3.5. So I guess we'll see. What did everyone else rate it like in the chat or anything? Do you guys want to let us know your ratings?
I ended up giving it a 4 because this was unique, like super unique. I've never read anything like it. And while Bunny was almost that same, like I haven't read anything like it, it had similarities to other kind of books, maybe not in the same subject, but it was just so unique and so, even though confusing, it was brilliant. That's why I'm leaning towards 4 because I can't even write a real sentence, let alone something so like out of left field like this.
Yeah. It seems like a lot of people are wanting to say like 4 stars. Like Carol wants to give it a 4 or 4.5.
Nice.
We have a 3 stars. Everyone seems to feel like they want to give it like 3 or 4 stars. So it's really not a bad book.
Yeah.
No, I didn't feel like it was bad at all.
I feel like everyone generally loved it, enjoyed it. It's
one of those where I can completely, kind of like with Bunny, which I loved and gave a 5-star. I feel like it's one of those where I can 100% understand if you gave it a 1 or a 5. Like, like some books you're just like, how could you possibly have given that a 1? That's insane. But like this book, I'm like, no, this is not for everyone, just like Bunny, and just like a lot of books we're probably gonna read. Like, not for everybody, which is fine, which is great. And I like reading books that are like that. I think that I thought I would like this more, and probably because Kayla had just read it from Books and Lala and 5-starred it. And we had already picked it. And I was like, oh, okay, well, this is like encouraging. And so I guess I thought that I was going to have the same feelings, and I wasn't confused necessarily. I think that I was hoping it would like pack a bigger punch for me, and it just didn't.
Speaking of Kayla, I went back and watched her vlog where she read this because I wanted to see what she said about it, like why she gave it 5 stars. And my feelings before I watched that is like I felt like the whole time the author was like trying to give a message, like send some sort of message, make some sort of commentary, and I like wasn't getting it. And Kayla talked about in the video how she like really liked the commentary on like gender and parenthood, and I was like, I didn't get that from that. So I don't know.
I feel like that happens with a lot of the reviewers too, where they'll see something that I didn't even think about it, and like I feel kind of stupid now. Like I feel really dumb. It made me feel that way. Like it was.
I need to be told straight away. I can't with the little messages. Like just tell me straight away what we're talking about, and. But no.
Marcy's like, no subtlety for me. I would like it.
Nope, straight shot.
And I agree with you, Marcy, though. I think it's so unique and uniquely written. And I know this was her first novel. So, I mean, I would completely be interested in reading more from her, even though I gave this a 3. It is unlike anything I've ever read, and it's a really interesting concept for sure. And I like that you're just thrown in and you're not really explained necessarily from the get-go. You just kind of have to learn what the hell's going on, like as you go. You're like, okay, it's fact. Like you're just thrown in, and this is how things are, and you're like, what? It won't work for some people, but
I
get it.
With Kayla, like every weird book that I've read that she's given 5 stars, I always give it 3.5 stars. Like Middle Game, Bunny, and this book, she's given all of them 5 stars, and I always give them 3.5 stars. Like it's a trend, and I kind of like it.
She wants to be a rebel. She's like, I'm not going to give it 5 stars.
Right. I feel like as it was the same as with Amy. Like when Amy had seen that she gave it 5, that Lala gave it 5 stars, because I thought the same thing because I loved Bunny so much, and I gave Bunny 5 stars. It was one of my still probably one of my favorite books of the year. And so I was just like, oh my gosh, like I'm gonna love it. And I do think like the message was lost on me a little bit, and I think that's why I didn't get the full give it a higher rating. But I do want to lean forward just because, like Marcy said, that it's just so unique. And with the writing, it was so beautifully written. And I'm like, just because I didn't get the message that convey doesn't mean that it wasn't there. Like I feel pretty dumb a lot of the times, and there was a lot I didn't understand with Bunny, and I still gave it 5 stars because I just was so entertained.
Yeah.
So
I think there's some books where it's just regardless of if you pick up on the subtleties or things, like the story itself resonates with you, or you just find really interesting. And with Bunny, like I feel like I was picking up on quite a bit of what Bunny was trying to say, but also the story was just so out of left field and weird, and it just did it for me.
Yeah.
Whereas this one was interesting and unique. It just like Crystal is saying in the comments, like she missed the big punch that she was, and that was me too. Like I was like, this isn't bad by any means, but it didn't. It just left me feeling like,
wow, you.
Yeah.
Crystal had also said before that she did get the themes of loneliness, and that I think is what grasped me of the story, because I'm an only child, so I sort of could relate to her in some aspects, and just her being lonely, wanting something else or someone else with her.
Right. All right. So I think it's probably time to get into the spoilery stuff. We might have right in. So anybody that hasn't read the book and doesn't want to know what ends up happening, probably want to check out right now. And we'll see you next time. But we're gonna get into some of the juicy stuff that happened.
It is juicy. Both literally and figuratively.
Right.
Sometimes literally juicy.
Yeah. I definitely
very sexual.
It's very
sexual.
Yeah.
Even like the non-sexual
were sexual. Yeah.
Were very, you know what I mean? Like I was like, ooh, yo, reaching up into people's bodies. Like,
when the lady was like, I feel so much better after you've been in me. I'm like,
I was like,
can I go see that doctor real quick? I like that.
You got like a copay? Are you covered by the Blue Cross Blue Shield? Because I'll hook you up. You know what I'm saying?
Well, like I think Amy, you made a great point when you were talking about how we're just thrown into the story. So like we really are. We don't know what time period this is in. We don't know where it's taking place. They don't even mention the name of the town, do they?
No. So, and I think I looked up, and maybe I'm wrong, but is Sue Rainsford Australian?
I think she's Irish.
Irish, that's what it was.
Okay, so, I didn't end up looking that up.
There's no indication of that in the book, but once I was researching her, I was like, well, I was assume this is set in Ireland, but you wouldn't know.
Yeah.
Maybe the only thing that would lead me towards that is because isn't it kind of like marshy there, like in Ireland? Yeah. Like the ground is very wet. And for me, like it definitely seemed that way with the book. Like,
did you say it's juicy, Rain?
Yeah, juicy.
Might you say juicy?
It's totally very juicy. Like I said, I really did like the way that it's written, the way she described where it's atmospheric in the short amount of time that you're.
Oh yeah.
I mean, like I said, I listened to the audiobook. I had to re-listen to parts. I mean, it's a 4.5 hour long audiobook, and it took me days because I was just like re-listening. I wasn't sure I got it. Like I was like, wait, and I re-listened to it. But Ireland is mushy.
It is mushy.
Any Irish natives on here? Can you confirm whether or not Ireland is mushy?
No.
We're all in the States over here, so
that's why.
Keelan is from Ireland, so that's why he says it's mushy.
Ireland is. Okay. So I mean, we kind of figured like with the way that the land is described, it does seem very much like Ireland. Now that you say that, I didn't know that the author was from Ireland, but now it makes a lot of sense as far as the atmosphere that's being described.
It almost, I don't know, it seemed like I was just, I guess because I'm in the States, I just assume it's set in the States, you know, because I'm selfish. And it felt very like 30s, 40s, like time period.
There's cars, but there's no like cell phones, internet, like nothing like that. It's definitely not a modern.
Or at least, I mean, I think even if it was in 2020, those people like Ada and her dad aren't using cell phones. Like, they're not even humans.
Yeah.
So, Crystal made a great point. She was like, I would love to know what they were. I guess I need obviousness. And it seemed that they were both like the dad and Ada were both different.
Yeah,
right?
I thought that she was like came from the ground, but a long ways away. Like
not that ground.
He wasn't created there. He didn't he wasn't born or whatever you would. Yeah. There was a bit, and again, I did read this a few weeks ago for those of you watching. So like minute details are lost. I can't remember. But there's a bit where he's talking about like all the attempts to like create.
When she finds the
like discarded like attempts.
Yeah.
For me, I don't know why, but like I did kind of picture it like 1950s, but it felt kind of fever to me, but it almost felt like it was in like an alternate dimension of our world, if that makes sense. Like it didn't feel like it was a completely different like fantasy world, but like our world, but different.
Yeah, I had that same feeling.
Yeah.
Well, because they were definitely just totally like the people of the town were just totally fine with them being like not human.
Right. Yeah, they were just like, we know they're like they don't age and like whatever, but it's fun.
And, like,
so there was like this acceptance.
Yeah, not even just being okay with them, but like going to them, like it wasn't even like they're like, okay, they're just gonna be over there. Like they trusted them enough to go to them for medical help.
Yeah,
right.
There were definitely some slight reservations, like you can see like different people got different perspectives through people in the town. And I think that's another reason why I didn't give it like a higher rating, is because there were so many different people. I was like, should I remember these people? I didn't know if
I thought that was maybe just me. I was like, I can't remember all these people.
Same. Yeah, I'm like, are they going to come into play? Like, am I going to need to know the scene? But it was
the whole point of that, I think, is that towards the end, you know, when I forgot the sister's name, the son goes looking for his dad. All those people were being interviewed by him about this lady. So it's not really that you have to pay attention to them. They're just commenting on their feelings and why they went to them. And
but through this, like, you don't know that at the time, like you're just like, wait, where are they? But now you understand that it's kind of just to see the perspective of the town and how everyone thinks of Ada differently. Like people were very wary of her and like didn't think that she was trustworthy, even though they were like okay with her dad. And I think that had a lot to do with this is like where I kind of saw a little bit of a deeper meaning, I guess. I thought that it had a lot to do with how like women are perceived, because she was definitely seen as like untrustworthy or, you know, and like, or kind of promiscuous and stuff like that. And like, they were never really weary of her father and whatever type of creature or whatever he was, but they were definitely weary of Ada. And then there's also like Sister Eel, which is that eel type creature that was in the water. And it's like,
I didn't get that. I was like, okay, what? You make sacrifices, but like, what else is behind that story? What I found weird, and maybe I missed something because I tend to do that a lot, is when she was going to have sex with that first guy, but she didn't have anything there. How was she able to do it with Samson?
She said she grew it.
Yeah. She grew it. That was Marcy, that was the part that I sent you the picture of.
That was her purse.
When she was naming it.
Yeah.
Her
No,
pouch,
okay.
right?
I missed something so big. I was like, wait.
I
Okay.
re-listened to that part. I was like,
Allow
what?
me a
Or
dramatic
through
reading
it?
of
Oh my god, I can't.
this is on page 12, so it's really not a spoiler, but I'm not really not going to read the whole thing.
I'm
Oh,
going to
no.
page 12.
I already
There's
know.
a part when she is like, yeah, about to have sex with this guy, but she does not have any genitalia, and so can't do it. And then she says that she, by the time I took Samson inside, which I'd grown myself an opening that I had a dozen names for, and I am not going to read those because
Oh, thank
I
God.
sent a screenshot in the group chat was just
They're
like,
so cringy.
like, no,
Oh my gosh.
she grew it, like
Maybe
just
black that part out.
sheer willpower. She was just like, and she grew one.
How does that work?
It's
Like,
just
did she sit on the ground? Like, how did she just has magical powers to like grow?
She might have been rubbing that soil up on her.
I don't know. Like, how did she know how to do it? Like, how is this just a thing? Oh my gosh. That part would just like, I was like, what?
And again,
Wow.
it's just supposed to be fact, and we're just going to roll with it, and then we just keep going. And I'm sitting there like, you grew yourself a vagina, and we're just supposed to, okay.
Yeah.
And then on the next page, and I'm like, all right. Well, okay.
It was so cringy, like all her
You girl.
for it and everything. It was just, yeah.
Wow. I really missed a huge part of I wonder how much more I've missed because
No, it was just a little sentence though, Marcy. There was barely. She just said I grew myself one. And I'm like,
you go, girl.
you go, girl. Girl power.
So what did you guys think of Samson? So obviously there was some type of incestuous relationship going on with his sister. And it's like, do you guys think that, like, I don't know, like there was definitely something off about him to me. He seemed very off to me. I mean, his sister was definitely off too, but I don't know.
Do you feel like Ada knew what was going on? As a reader, it felt immediately obvious to me the minute he started talking about his sister.
Yes. As soon as they said they slept in the same bed,
I was like, yeah, he's that.
And like with the pregnancy timeline, he even pointed out like it kind of didn't make sense, and I was like,
yeah,
okay.
Yeah.
Do you think that Ada like knew on some level, but she was just lonely?
Yeah.
I don't think she did. I think she was naive in that point.
Okay.
And then she kept thinking that it was the sister that was
She really was like
herself on him.
Yeah. Okay.
Because at the end, when the son comes and she's like, wait, I think it all dawned on her there. And by that point, she was like, we're far too gone. Like, forget it. Like, here we are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ooh.
I definitely think she was choosing to be blind to it. Like she would.
Yeah, I almost feel that too. Like she just was like, yeah, maybe she didn't know, but she was just like, yeah, I don't care.
I also,
and I feel like she was getting like one half of the story. She was getting only from Samson, and so it was like, you know. And then I almost feel like she was a little jealous of the sister when she would come to see her. So I almost feel like Allie's here. So I almost feel like
I saw that. I was like, I didn't want to interrupt you.
I almost felt like maybe she knew on some level. She just wasn't ready to admit it to herself. Yeah.
Yeah, I think
like a teenager, you know, when the parents. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, she knew because so Sarah said I feel like she knew because her father tried to tell her, and I feel like that too.
Yeah,
definitely.
But I feel like she was jealous of the sister, like because it was another person. But I don't think she really cared that it was incest. To be honest, I just don't think she cared.
Yeah,
I just think she was like whatever. Like,
well, she's not human, so it's not like she has emotions.
So I just don't think that she cared like that. I think that she was just kind of jealous because it was another person, not necessarily that it was his sister.
I agree.
Oh yeah, no, I don't. Yeah, I don't think she actually cared that he'd had sex with his sister.
No.
I don't think there was any judgment there. I think she was just jealous because like she got Samson's attention.
Yeah.
There was definitely, I feel like Ada kind of leaned on the obsession side. Like she was definitely obsessed with Samson.
Yeah. Did you see what Keelan said?
I know.
Right here?
Yeah.
I'll work for what?
That sounds like Keelan.
Yeah. So glad you're here. I just love his antics. He's just so funny. I don't know if you guys follow him on Twitter, but I do, and I have a great time.
He's hilarious. Obviously.
So I guess we could get it more into like what Ada and her father, like what they do. I guess they like heal people by going inside their bodies or whatever. I thought that was really cool.
Yeah.
I thought it was interesting the fact that it would like go somewhere else. Like it didn't just like heal them, like whatever it was would just go somewhere else. Like they'd be in the pantry and there's just like a
fungus,
whatever, like a mass of cells sitting there.
Yeah. That was very interesting. I kind of thought they were going to do something with that. Like it was going to, something was going to be absorbed into somebody else later in the book.
Yeah.
That would have been interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, I definitely feel like it maybe could have done that with, especially with the people that they treated that kind of had like mental illnesses, because they had said that like, like he has a sickness in the head. And then like they just buried that guy because they couldn't really like, I guess, help that guy.
Yeah.
But, like where would his sickness have gone? Like that was never explained to me, or I just didn't get it. I don't know. That's like some parts of it where I was like super confused because I was like, okay, well, what would happen like when he was under the ground? Like they just,
I think they relied on that ground to do a lot of the whatever they couldn't handle. They basically just let the earth, I guess, in a way, heal
like as best it could.
Yeah,
because not everybody went in the ground, you know, like some
people that were like too far gone or whatever.
Yeah. And I remember when she says, I think at the beginning, she said something like that she's looking out and all she sees is dead bodies in the ground. There was a part like that. I don't know if you guys remember it. And I was like, okay, well, that's weird. This is like way before you even knew what they did or what they were capable of.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I guess that's what I wish like there was more explanation of. Like I wish it was like 50 pages longer to give a little bit more backstory to like how I guess her father was created, how she was created, like how it started, kind of.
How the healing thing works too.
Yeah.
Like, she just kind of took out the body parts and then like messed around in there and then like put it back.
would like sing to them.
Yeah, she would sing.
Yeah, like they were like singing, or she was specifically like singing, like
to the vagina.
She may have found herself a vagina. I don't know.
Maybe that's how she grew it.
Maybe. We don't know enough about the bounds of her powers to know how she created.
Yeah, no.
I'm saying she because she did have a vagina at some point. I don't know how she identified though, or how they identified, to be honest. But
I don't know.
Someone said, "Is it a smutty, weird book?" And I don't think it's smutty. It's not smutty. It's just
I feel like
there's sex, but it's never really the sex is never really described.
I feel like smutty means like more. It's like more like
description,
not romantic, but like
there's more descriptions of noises and sounds and feelings and actions. As to here, we were just like inside of her.
I think like
the descriptions are like sexual in nature, but like they're not sexual scenes happening.
And I think
you don't even
smutty also kind of means like I feel like it's more like supposed to like turn people on, not necessarily, but you know what I'm saying. Well, like
that's something for you,
sexual and like
like I feel like
that's like it's like matter of fact, but sexual. I don't know.
Like the reader's enjoyment. This book is not sexual for the reader's enjoyment.
Yeah, agreed.
Yeah. I think it was just like the way everything is described, it feels sexual, even though it's not sexual.
I mean, there are a couple of scenes where her and Samson have sex, but it is very like
Dry.
Matter of fact. That's the only dry part of the book, to be honest.
Good God.
But yeah, almost the word that comes to mind is like clinical, even though it's not really, but
Clinical.
like, I don't know.
Yeah.
The whole book kind of felt clinical.
Yeah.
Crystal said I got the vibe too. Oh, this was about like the sister-brother relationship. But then she said it was weird how her dad was so casual about talking about sex with her, which I mean that was weird. But they're not human, right? Like,
right. And he's not really her father.
No.
Yeah, he like grew her.
He's also kind of like, I don't think he feels that kind of emotion, so it's not weird to him.
Mm-hmm.
Just like, why do you feel this and I don't? Like, I'm confused.
I do think that's interesting, Crystal, that you said like she may not have thought anything about the incest because she doesn't understand a sibling relationship and maybe doesn't. I mean, again, is not human, and I don't think she's void of emotion. I just think that like she doesn't understand that that's like a really taboo, something that people don't do. And like she doesn't understand that like that what a sibling relationship means.
I think she doesn't understand that it's taboo, but I think she understands what a sibling relationship is because there was that part where she was asking for a sibling to her dad. He was asking her to be somebody else so she could have a sibling. I just don't think she understands that there even is things that are taboo. But I think she understands what like familial relationships are.
Right, like she understands the concept of it, but maybe not what's like appropriate. Within it. Yeah.
Well, I mean, look at what she is. It's like mushy.
Y'all.
Look at what Crystal said.
That's what we're gonna call this book. Mushy. That's what it was. Yep. It felt very mushy.
Look at what Crystal said. Yep.
Definitely, Crystal. We need
Speaking of that, my friend my friend just texted in a group chat that we have, and apparently China found a new disease worse than corona.
Oh, geez. No. Let's go back to follow me to ground. Let's go back to that.
That's scary.
And let's go back to growing vaginas, please.
Yeah. I never thought I'd hear that, Marcy.
She was mostly talking about it because we have a curfew again for no reason on the weekends here, like 10 p.m. I think she said they're doing it because they think people are going to protest again, but nobody's protested, so I don't understand, but whatever. Yeah.
That's crazy.
We need the magic ground.
The world is a trash fire.
And here we are.
The magic ground was really freaking cool, though, like how it worked.
What is it?
Yeah, like
it would like move by itself.
Like he just threw like bones and sticks and stuff in there, and then made her out of it.
Yeah,
I think she was just made from the ground. I don't know what in specific, but
he said he buried. Didn't he say he like buried some bones and stuff or body parts? What did he say?
I missed that part too.
But I didn't know if the bones were from like he did something in the ground and it made like a weird person, but it wasn't right. So they like those were their bones or something.
Yeah,
I feel like it's like its own creature. Like I
don't
love
know,
it.
but then she was raised in the attic.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, in the sun or something.
Like they were like
was
waiting
she a
for
flower?
She was like a potted plant or something. I don't know.
Yes. So that's what I started thinking. Are they like flowers turned into human? Because then another thing that they don't elaborate on, you know that they look different.
Yeah.
But in what way? Because they seem human.
I don't think they are ever described how they.
I don't think they are either. Now that you're saying that,
yeah, they just say that they're different.
Human, like because obviously, like Samson kind of saw her as like human-like, I guess, or like even the other guy that she tried to have sex with.
Because like, of the flowers, I don't know.
That's interesting.
That is interesting. I hadn't thought of that.
I don't know.
The father-daughter relationship is very odd. I definitely feel like it is very odd. He does seem protective of her with the whole Samson situation. But do you guys feel like, I don't know if if it was because she wouldn't be able to heal as well with her, because she focuses a lot of her time and energy on thinking of Samson, especially after she like buries him in the ground. And then she's unable to kind of work her magic after that.
I think he cared more about her not going off and doing things because it would distract her from what they were there for, and also just like their own protection in the community. You know, I think kind of just like, don't go screw it up, you know.
These people trust us or whatever.
Yeah, people trust us, and like feel like it was more of a self-serving thing than it was like, I care for you like a daughter. I never felt like there was like a lot of like love between the two of them.
Yeah. I never really got the feeling that he like made her to have a child. He like I feel like he made her to like have a partner almost. Like
a companion.
Yeah.
So that when he was gone, then she would be there or whatever.
Yeah. And maybe she just, you know, they talk about how they age. And I mean, I don't think it's ever mentioned, because she refers to him as her father. I think we just assume he's probably like in his 40s. But I mean, like, she stops aging at a certain point. Does he look like he's in his 20s? It's what, like, did he stop aging? You know what I mean? There's no.
It said that she had been alive for like generations, like for a really long time.
And I mean, is their aging just so slow that in like 200 years she might look 60
older,
or something? But yeah.
That's.
And I don't mind not knowing all the answers to that when I read a book.
Yeah,
I'm fine with that. But I do wish there was just like a skosh more to this.
Yeah.
Like,
I agree.
Just a little bit.
Yeah, I get, like, I think that's what made me lean towards like 4 stars, especially in the beginning, because I was like, immediately I wanted to like look up reviews and like find out what other people thought about it. And I love a book that makes me do that. And that's why I wanted to do this like whole group where we read weird books, because I just want to talk about it because it's so weird.
Yeah.
And that's what I just loved about it so much, because there's a lot of it I just felt, especially with the end, like I just felt teased almost. Like I just wanted to know so much more, but not in a bad way. I mean, it definitely could be, you know, in a bad way where you're just not given enough information to really connect to the story or whatever. But in this way, I felt like it worked for this story because it was just so weird. Like nothing really needed to be explained because you're just supposed to fly with it, like however it is.
Did you all read, I know some of you have read Burn Our Bodies Down.
I haven't.
I haven't yet, but I'm dying to because I loved Wilder Girls.
Okay. So no spoilers or anything, but I felt like that one leaned a little towards giving you too much explanation.
Okay.
Not that it made it bad by any means. I really enjoyed it. But they almost give you too much, and this gives you a little too little for my personal taste. And I would have liked
a happy medium.
Those of you who've read that might know what I'm talking about. I really enjoyed the ending of that. But I enjoyed that book, like, overall. It was very good.
Makes me actually really, I mean, I already want to read Burn Our Bodies Down, but this makes me really want to read Wilder Girls, and I haven't.
Oh my gosh, Rain, read it.
Read that too.
Yeah. This book, I feel like, made me want to read it because I can definitely see it being similar because it's got that whole, like, weird body stuff going on.
It's definitely like
oh yeah, I see it.
It's my favorite cover of all time.
I love that cover.
So pretty.
I think this book just didn't hit like exactly because I feel like if you're not going to explain that much, there has to be like some sort of like big climax, and this didn't have that either. So I feel like it didn't explain enough, and then like it didn't have a climax. Like it felt like it was building up for something, and then like nothing happened, and it's not like it fizzled out like in a bad way. It was more of like a what, like why, like where's the rest, like nothing. I was like,
definitely. I thought a little more was going to happen with that old lady that came to the house. Like, what? Like, she's weird. What is going on with this? Like, she definitely had her part to play in it. Like, with, like, she was supposedly like what, like, hallucinating. Like, she was being kind of possessed by
Samson
or whatever from the ground, like he was speaking through her. But like,
I forgot about that. That was actually really cool.
Yeah. She kept saying something like something about being in the desert or something.
Yeah.
But I thought that, I don't know, there would be a little more bang to that. And then the ending, I felt like even like open-ended endings are totally cool. I'm great with them. But with this one, it was like, okay, well, his dad's there, sure, like, cool. But then, like,
whatever.
I don't know, it felt very obvious. Like,
right. Like it exposed
out of the ground at some point
the whole time.
Right. Yeah. So there wasn't a shock factor at the end.
So and it's funny because, and I guess this the cool thing about so many people reading this, I was really, like I said before, hooked on that loneliness factor of it. So that's where it grasped me. And then at the end, just her being like, you know what, I don't care. I felt like I was like her and not believing. And even though the dad was telling her, you know, when we're 15 and somebody tells you, oh, that person is not good. I mean, I've heard that my whole entire growing up life. Oh, he's not good. He's not good. But you're like, you know what? Yes, he is. And I'm going to prove it to you. And I feel like, I feel like that's what she was doing. She was like, no, he is, because she truly believed that he was, you know, kind or whatever, good or whatever it was, because like she said, she's like, I can't smell anything on you. If you were bad, I would be able to smell it on you, because he kept saying there's something wrong with me. So he didn't want to believe that part, and she was set on proving and showing that she was like, no, this is the right person for me. And then sort of towards the end, when everything fell on her, she was like, oh crap, and she just couldn't do anything, so she just kept going with it. I don't like open-ended endings, but to me, I loved this one because I almost could relate to her in a way.
Yeah, like the rose-colored glasses kind of thing.
Yes, and that's me. I'm super naive, and I'm always like, I always think the best of people, and I guess that in that sense, I could relate to her.
I definitely, like, I don't think she was an unlikable character at all. I actually really liked her character.
Thank you.
I felt a lot of like sympathy, and you know, especially with the whole situation when she couldn't bring that kid back and how much that affected her. And I got teary-eyed at that part. That was one thing that made me like, oh, like, okay, this is pretty good.
Yeah, I liked her. I just didn't relate to her. Like, I'm the opposite of you, Marcy. Like, I always think the worst first.
My husband is like that.
I'm not like, I don't immediately go into people thinking like they're gonna be the worst, but I don't go into them thinking that they're gonna be great either. I'm just like, okay. And then, but yeah, so I just didn't relate to her because she just wanted everything to be so like positive. Like, she just wanted everything to be the best, and it kind of made her like not see things as clearly, and that's just not how I am. Like, it's just not how I am. So I liked her because I think that she was just interesting, but I just didn't really.
Another thing that we got to take into consideration is, okay, number one, she was raised in an attic, and she wasn't raised around humans in the sense of interacting and learning and emotions. I mean, she was raised from the ground. She didn't have any kind of emotional connection only with Samson, because I guess Samson was so messed up in the head that he went for whatever and, you know, didn't mind her being different, but she couldn't understand the dealings and the emotions in between humans, you know? So where is she going to learn all of that? So I think she was just set on this. She didn't care about anything else.
Skills, like, all.
Which was surprising in that she seemed to love Samson. But like she couldn't connect to anybody else. Like she was just kind of like, she just was obsessed with him, and that was it, which was really surprising because she didn't connect with
anybody.
I think that's also kind of why we don't relate, because she was so isolated, and I feel like my generation, we're the opposite. Like, I had my first phone when I was in 4th grade, so like I had access to Instagram, everything. Like, so like I've always just been talking to people all the time. Like, I talk to people every day, so like I just feel like, and then also especially with social media, like everything's kind of portrayed in a negative light. So I always go into things thinking that everything's kind of negative.
Mhm.
So yeah, it kind of gave me a more like a realistic view. So I think that's also why like the isolation versus like overexposure makes it not as relatable for me.
Yeah,
I get that.
Mm-hmm.
I definitely felt like I was a little more thinking negatively about like the people around her, and just like, you know, I didn't think Samson was that great of a guy, and then his sister seemed a little off too, and I was like, what is her angle? But she just really wanted, like, I feel like the sister just kind of wanted her suspicions confirmed that the baby was her brother's, or I mean, she already knew, and she just
Yeah.
but like,
Maybe she did know though, now that I'm thinking, because
What,
remember
Ada?
when she
yeah,
remember when she told her about the green eyes?
yeah.
Yeah.
The baby has green eyes like the father.
And she was like, "Oh no, yeah, he doesn't have green eyes."
She had me fooled.
I was like, I think it is. I think it's one of those things someone said in the comments where she just like willfully was like, like, and again, not because she cared about the incest, but because she was having sex with him and it was like a jealousy thing.
Right.
I don't think it was
I feel
like,
that way too.
oh no, I can't think that he could be like that, but like,
Or I'll make him better, you know, like that youngin.
right, because she was so adamant that like, you know, no, there's nothing wrong with you. Like, maybe though, having sex with your sister, so.
I feel like I would have liked to see like how Samson turned out once he was taken out of the ground. Like, well,
that's what I wanted to see. Yes.
Yeah,
There was definitely
later. It's definitely not told like how much time has passed, but it was like way years later.
Years.
The son
I
comes
feel like
back.
20 years. Like,
Yeah, when
because
the
the
son comes up, he's an adult. Like
an adult, right? I was thinking, I was
think
getting
older
a very
because his mom had died.
Huh?
I feel like he was even probably older than in his 20s because his mom had died.
His mom died at 52.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
his mom died young.
But you don't know how old she was when she was
Right.
seen, when she was pregnant.
Mm-hmm.
Especially because if it is taking place in like the 50s or the 40s, then
She could have been pretty young.
yeah. I feel like he was probably like late 20s, early 30s.
Yeah.
I feel like, yeah, like you said, Rain, I wish they would have explored more on the when the son sees the dad and what happens with him afterwards, because she is so like not protective, but she keeps saying you don't want to go out there or you should leave because she sensed something bad happening. And I wish we would have known what that bad thing was. Like, does he kill him?
Did he come out like of the ground? Like,
is he a zombie when he comes out?
Crazy, like bad. Well, did he just came out of the ground, right? Or did she didn't like, he wasn't like a potted plant in the attic either, right? When he came out, I don't know what they
I had the feeling he was like walking around.
Came out whole.
Yeah, because he sees, remember the son sees him and he's like, who is that? Who is that? And she's like, he sees the resemblance in him.
Right.
Yeah, I think it's because like she was created from the ground, but he was already there and they just put him in the ground.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't think he needed that kind of.
I guess that makes sense.
Yeah, I don't think
I'm
he
just
needed
curious,
that kind
like
of.
if he was like, I don't know, good or bad.
I'm sure he was bad because even the dad was like, what's going to come out of there is not going to be good or something like that.
Same. He's going to be, he's very, like, he's in the ground, like with his thoughts or his, you know, all the bad.
How do you think he's going to come out? He was like warning her, you know, you don't want him.
Yeah.
You don't want to see him.
I feel like I wish we would have got, like, if we would have got a hint of that, that would have
that would have been
like
good.
Factor, I guess.
Yes, it would have given that boom. Yep.
Yeah. Just because it's kind of, I don't know. It was the ending was pretty underwhelming. Everything leading up to that was pretty good though.
Yeah.
Just the whole concept was really interesting. Like how she thought that up.
It's insane.
Yeah. Going in someone's body. Like, I don't know.
Taking the lungs out.
Yeah.
I said in my blog, like, this is one of those books where I feel like I need to meet the author and like just like talk
to like
What's
pick
going
their
on
brain.
in their head, because like I don't understand how people think of these things.
Me neither.
Someone said they still don't know what this book is about. Honestly, me neither. Like, sorry.
It's just we have no idea. We have no idea.
No idea.
Well, I think that's going to be the consensus with a lot of months. It's going to be like, I don't know, y'all. Up for interpretation.
Yeah.
Right.
Have we picked the next book yet? Am I lost?
No, we haven't. I was going to actually ask the chat if they wanted to throw out some suggestions for us for next month's book pick. So we haven't decided what we're going to read just yet. We have like some idea. I was thinking one of the books, possibly Hollow Kingdom. Have you guys heard of it? I mentioned it.
Oh, I want to read that
Is that
one.
the little raven on the cover?
Yes.
Yeah.
I remember Natasha from
That one sounds
My Reading is Odd. That was one of her favorites a few years ago.
Yeah, and that's why I wanted to read it, because I had put it on my TBR when Natasha came out with a video saying it was like her favorite book of the year.
Yeah.
And how weird it was. So it was on my radar, and then we had finished the Bunny live show and I threw it out there. I think Crystal had also said that she wanted to read that one. She was interested. Marcy, I think, said she was already interested in it. So I'm like,
I would read
that one. I don't know if anybody in the chat has read it or if they know anything about that one, but it's supposed to be about like a crow during a zombie apocalypse.
Yes.
Yeah, it's like told from his perspective.
Yeah.
And he's like trying to save all the domesticated animals whose like owners like the zombies.
For sure.
I don't know. It just sounds really, really weird, but it sounds really great. The reviews for it look fantastic.
Yeah.
So are we going to do another poll on Instagram?
Monica, it's Hollow Kingdom is what it's called. I don't know what the author's name is. I can't. Do you have it?
Sarah Jane Buxton. That's what the cover looks like.
Yeah.
Here, look. Hold on.
Yeah, we can do a poll again.
Yeah.
If anyone has any ideas.
Rain, do you want to keep doing Stacks of Strange Things just on your Instagram, or should we have an Instagram? What do you think?
I don't know. Well, I mean, I could probably. I don't know. I didn't even think about that.
We can talk about it.
I mean, it still do it on yours. I just, if you didn't want to feel like you have to be the one that does every,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Maybe also like, maybe I don't know about Instagram, because on Instagram it's like having pictures, and you have, maybe just like a Twitter where you can update, do polls.
Yeah, that might be good. Like
out.
meeting friends and things like that over there.
Yeah,
That's
that
what
might be good.
It's just because like if you don't have like what is it called, like the story highlights for it, it's like people are like, where do I even go to find out information?
Yeah.
So that way, if you have like a set account, it makes it a lot easier.
Yeah. I'll definitely think about that. I think that's a good idea. I do have it highlighted in my stories, just like the book that we picked for this month, the information as far as like the live show and stuff. So I'll probably do the same thing at least for this one. And then I think I should. I'm just really bad at the photo stuff for Instagram. I've never been good at taking pictures. I just take pictures outside because it's easier.
Yeah.
That's why
I'm not great at taking pictures either. I'm just thinking from a strictly like.
No, I get it.
There's so many people there, and I don't think we'd have to post a ton of actual pictures.
Yeah. No, on my
active in stories and stuff.
On my account, there's 3 pictures, and I don't plan on posting any more anytime soon. I just use it for stories. I didn't want there to be like no pictures, so I just posted like 2, and then like a thumbnail. And I was like, I'm gonna just do stories.
Posted since last September.
I feel like I've definitely like when I first started my Instagram, it was all about like people's feeds. I was like looking at all their book photos. Now I'm so into everyone's stories. So I don't even pay attention to like their posts as much. It's mostly the stories that I'm paying attention to now.
I forget about stories.
And that's it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think if we had like an Instagram, we could have an Instagram and a Twitter. I mean, a lot of book clubs and read clubs have that, and they're not active like all the time.
I think that is a good idea. I definitely think
that it. Then like all 6 of us could,
help run it.
Yeah.
Yeah, we could help run it, and then also just try to get as many of our followers to follow it.
Yeah.
Right. So, yeah, we definitely could do that. I didn't see any suggestions for books we should read next month, but we'll definitely still think some more on it. I was just thinking of Hollow Kingdom because that one, like, just the weirdest one that just stands out to me immediately.
I'm sure there are other when people rewatch the upload when they watch it when it's not live, they'll probably start commenting.
Yeah, so comment down below some suggestions if you're watching this later.
Yeah.
I want to get some ideas. I know people have definitely suggested Middle Game, but Deja's already read that one. She's totally down for like a reread.
Yeah, I would reread it because it was so weird. And it took me forever to read because I read it physically, and I just feel like that's not the way to go. I just don't think so. Because it's not necessarily dense, but it's like it's big. It's big, and it's like a lot of like science, like enough for you to understand, but still like right? And so I feel like I would definitely try and listen to the audiobook because it was a lot. It took me forever.
I'm definitely curious about that one because I'm not a fan of the Wayward Children series.
Same.
But everyone that doesn't like the Wayward Children series loves Middle Game. So I'm like, maybe that's like how I'll end up feeling about it because I'm just not. That's why I never picked up Middle Game because I didn't like the Wayward Children series. But everyone's saying like it's so completely different.
I think it would be because like, isn't the Wayward Children series very like magical?
It is.
It's not.
It's short and
it's not magical at all. Like, you know how this one is kind of confusing? It's not like that in that book. If it's confusing, it's because it's more like sciencey than anything. But I just find it confusing. And I feel like if I reread it, I would rate it higher than I originally did.
No, I would be down for Middle Game as well. I haven't read that one yet.
Yeah.
I have it here, but I haven't read it.
Maybe we could do a poll between Middle Game and Hollow Kingdom and see which one wins.
Yeah, a few people said I'm thinking of ending things as well.
Yeah.
Karen said that.
Definitely a weird book.
The trailer.
I haven't watched it.
I haven't watched it yet either.
I've been told not to watch the trailer, like after I watched it.
Me too.
Like, don't watch the trailer.
I haven't watched the trailer.
But I watched the trailer and now I want to read the book.
It's not that it is necessarily spoils things, but it's just one of those books you want to know as absolutely little about as humanly possible.
I know nothing about it.
Same.
That's perfect.
Isn't it like
crazy? It's bonkers.
Isn't it like somebody like they're driving to like somebody's like her like
going to meet his parents for the first time?
The whole point is it's like these two people in their 20s. I think they're like grad school aged. It's a man and a woman, and they've been dating. And the book is from her point of view, and he is driving them out to like his family, his parents' like farm to meet his parents. And you know from like the first page that I'm thinking of ending things is her like debating whether or not to break up with him.
Right.
Like,
but then things, I guess, get really weird.
Kind of is like, is this about suicide or what? I mean, like, she's referring to breaking up with him, and so she's having like all these reservations the whole time about like, should she break up with him? It is one of the weirdest books I've ever read.
Interesting.
But
I don't know why. I feel like if we read Hollow Kingdom, I don't know why, but I feel like we should read it in October. I feel like it's a good Halloween book.
It really is with the zombie aspect. I definitely
and the crow.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it gives me Halloween vibes.
I like that. I like that idea.
Oh yeah,
I love Halloween.
Me too. I'm so excited. That's why I'm doing Summerween. Keelan said he's reading Elliot Ness and the Mad Butcher, which I've never heard of, but he said true crime buffs will lose their minds, which Deja and I are both true crime buffs.
I'm getting a pen right now.
It's called Elliot Ness and the Mad Butcher. I don't know, but I love true crime, so I'm probably
and Cat.
No, I'm gonna look that up.
Kelly said that I saw The Seep on.
Oh yeah, that's another one I want to read.
Yeah,
you read it?
I haven't seen that yet.
Readathon as this book.
Yeah. The covers are like almost really similar.
They're really similar. I was like, I don't know why, because like I feel like The Seep reminds me of Ground for some reason. Like keeping
like
into the ground.
I getcha.
I was like, oh, that's like so weird.
I feel like we'll get so many suggestions for like weird books from Kayla's channel because she always brings me out. It's weirder than a sleeping bag full of bananas, but it's so good. I'm gonna check it out. I'm definitely gonna check that out because I love true crime. The Swallows by Lisa Lutz. I've never heard of that either. There's so
I've heard of that one.
Let me see. I think I've heard of that.
Yeah, another one with a bird on the cover.
Is that?
I've seen
that cover.
I'm gonna have to like write these down.
So I'm writing them down so I can send them to you later.
When no one is watching, no one is so bad.
I want to read that. I think I'm gonna on my September TBR for sure.
Yeah, I don't think that's weird though.
I think it's a mystery thriller, but
the way that we're talking. I think it's more like a social commentary thriller.
Yeah.
Like,
and I'm so excited.
Oh my God.
I'm writing not romance.
I know.
And
I don't read romance, but I've seen like her books. Everyone seems to really like her books, and then I've
been reading through our Reluctant Royal series this year. I've read the first 2 novels and the first 2 novellas. So, and I like all of them. Like they've all been 3 or 4 stars.
Yeah.
So I'm very excited.
Rain, you're missing
out through and loving it. I want to read that. I think it's definitely going to be on my TBR for September. I'm just like
at the end of September, doesn't it?
It does, the very end.
Yeah, I'm thinking it'll probably end up being on my October because that's one I'll probably buy. I don't buy.
What are we talking about?
When no one is watching.
Mylistical.
It's like
I'm writing down books right now, so I don't blame you.
It's a thriller about gentrification. I can never say that word.
Gentrification.
Okay.
There is a book called Bottom Feeders. It's like a
I have it.
You have it?
Yeah,
it's
he sent it to me.
Novel about gentrification, and I wanted to read it so bad because Noria Reeds was doing like a fuckathon thing, and one of the prompts was "fuck gentrification," and she had suggested that book, and it's freaking expensive. It's like $20 is expensive for me, but I can't get it anywhere other than like if I buy it.
I hate that.
And it's like a graphic novel.
I've heard it's really good. It's called Bottom Feeders.
By Adam?
It's spelled different. It's like BTT. It's without the vowels.
Oh, okay.
Oh, but so it's a graphic novel?
Yeah.
Oh, $20 for a graphic novel is a no for me.
Yeah.
But I did that for Uzumaki with a gift card, and like it was.
I see it. Oh my gosh, it's $25 on Barnes and Noble.
It's so expensive. It sounds really cool because I mean it's a horror book about gentrification.
Yeah.
And, I love horror, so I was trying to find like, horror books that I could read for that. I'm
just kidding. I don't have that one. It was another. It's called the same thing, but it's not spelled like this. It's spelled different.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the one by Adam Cesare, right?
No, not that one.
It's called Bottom Feeders, apparently.
No, it's another one. I think I'm not even sure what I have it here, but it's not the same one.
Right.
Oh, and did you know that Adam's last name is actually Caesar, not Cesare, how I've been saying it the whole entire time? And somebody was like, he pronounces it Caesar. I was like, oops.
That's so hard to like. I feel so bad when pronouncing certain. Like, sometimes I'll
try to look them up, but like I can't find them for everyone.
Yeah.
Monica suggested setting up a page for the book club on Goodreads.
It's a good idea.
Okay.
Oh, that is a good idea.
Yeah.
I don't like Goodreads.
I don't like Goodreads groups. I
Yeah,
get so lost.
I feel like they're so complicated.
They are.
Like Goodreads in general is just complicated. I petition to make Goodreads better because it's been the same for years. It is 2020. They have better technology. What kind of website is this? It's trash.
Definitely make it like more user friendly.
I could make it more user friendly. Me.
Yeah.
Like,
and how long
definitely make it more
yelling
aesthetically
about getting 5-star ratings?
Oh my god, they need to do half stars so bad. Like, I just don't understand who runs this. Like, they have not updated this website in years. Like they need to use like something else, like WordPress.
Well, I've seen a lot of people moving over to Book Sloth, but then like no one's talked about it recently. So I don't know if people stopped using it or if they're still over there.
And it was from the get-go like really glitchy, and I was just like,
what was it?
Like
Book Sloth, I think.
Oh yeah, I know what that is because I
never jumped on it, but a lot of people were jumping on it for a while.
Yeah.
And then I stopped hearing about it after like a week or two.
I just don't think like anybody's ever gonna move from Goodreads because everybody's books are already on there. They just need to make it better.
I've been using Goodreads for like 6 years. I can't just like.
And what kind of font is that? Who decided that was a good idea?
Yeah,
I just don't understand. And he was like tan and brown. Like,
oh my god, the color is
like
so ugly.
Yeah.
Like I hate everything about it.
It's like
koala pants butter. Did you guys see Keelan's comment?
What?
What Keelan's comment?
He's just. What is he saying? I missed it.
That he was
right here.
That one, koala pants butter.
No thanks.
No. The 10th Girl is a weird polarizing book on Goodreads. I have the 10th Girl.
Oh, I have that one too, and it's set in Argentina. So hey,
I'm super interested in that one. I haven't picked it up yet. Koala pants butter. I'm like,
I can't get over that.
Forever calling koala pants butter. I love that.
I really want to send an email to Goodreads and be like, hey, like, can I fix your website for free for you?
Free. I'm gonna post the poll on my Instagram just so everyone knows. Like, I'm gonna post it on my Insta. But like, I'm definitely thinking about making just an Instagram account solely for the group.
Yeah.
To make it easier.
Yeah, everything is one spot.
The 10th Girl.
I'm sorry. Now I'm frustrated because now I'm thinking about how trash Goodreads. I'm like mad. Like when I get frustrated, I'm frustrated for like a while. Today, my friend and I got in this whole argument. I swear we were on Zoom. I was in between my classes. I was watching a child for my neighbor, and I was on Zoom for 40 minutes arguing if you can have a favorite book of the year that's not 5 stars. Like, she rated plenty of books 5 stars, but she's like, okay, I gave this 4 stars, but it's one of my favorite books of the year. And I'm like, you can't do that. Like, you can't do that.
It has to be 5
How
stars.
dare you?
No, I can't. You can't. And she was like, well, objectively, the writing wasn't that good. And I was like, but you should be able to look past that and give it 5 stars because it's your rating about your emotions. So, like, why? Like, I'm really worked up about this. Like, I
totally know what you mean. Yeah.
It's really frustrating. And people are like, well, like, I'm not gonna rate a good book, like a really good book, and this book the same. And I'm like, then why is it your favorite? Like, I don't understand. If you don't, I just like it could be like trash reality, like it's like trash reality TV show. Like, I would still rate it 5 out of 5 for me. Right. It's gonna be 5 out of 5. But like,
I definitely think people like they feel that like the pressure to like rate something based off like they take reviewing very critically, I guess. Like they want to be critical when they're reviewing and they want to do a job, but then it's really just your opinion. That's all it is.
I feel like there's a lot of pressure to review critically, and like if you aren't reviewing critically, you're being like obtuse. Like
I'm just saying though, like
I know there's a million problems, and I still loved it.
Exactly. So 5 out of 5. Like, I don't understand. Like, imagine being like, oh yeah, this is my list for the year. I gave this book 4 stars and I gave this book 3 stars, but they're still on my favorites list. Like, I'd be like, what? What are you talking about? That doesn't make sense. Like, I'm just
to me the rating is more of a feeling than really the writing, or the writing can be sucky, but if it made me cry and it made me feel like 5 stars and the writing sucks, but
right. I'm just saying, like, I will never say like I have good taste. I rate it for me, but I'm not going to be like, unless I'm saying I recommend this, don't go to me for recommendations. Like, I'm just telling you what I read and how I felt. Like the same thing with my music taste. It's It is awful. I will never say that I have good music taste, but do I have a good time and do I enjoy myself? Yes.
Then
Girl,
you
I'm right
have
there
good
with you. I'm
music
the same
taste.
way.
For
I
you.
love trash music.
I will never be like, yes, like if you hate this song, then like I understand. Like I understand. But for me, it's 5 out of 5. Like I don't know.
I totally know what you mean.
Yeah.
I get that. It's definitely, I think it has a lot to do with the pressure to like actually.
But she doesn't even rate that critically because I'm not saying that if you read romance, like you don't rate critically, but she only reads romance. Like that's it. And I'm like, okay, like no, literally though, my friend, because 2 other people were on Zoom too, and they were just watching this go down, and one of them tweeted like asking like for people to comment like if you could, and somebody was like, no, you can't. And then I just commented on it. I was like, anybody who said yes is wrong, and they commented back, and they were like, yeah, like I hope you convinced the other person because they were wrong. And I was like, I didn't convince them. It was at the name Jaleesa, go attack her. I literally
think we found your biggest pet peeve. Like, don't watch it at the end of the year because I'll probably have some 4 stars that are gonna be like, oh, that's my favorite.
I know. I had one in my mid-year
Rain,
wrap-up.
you better block Deja from watching your video because she's gonna be mad.
Everybody
Yeah.
says I know
Because I don't give out 5 stars very easily. I feel like I only give out 5 stars if it's absolutely like a favorite book of mine. But if like, I'll still give out 4 stars to books that I love that I'll eventually reread.
Yeah,
But
I think sometimes I'll get
there'll be
something
a reason for the 4 star, like it was super slow in the beginning or something. There was definitely not enough for me to be like, okay, 5.
Yeah.
But I'll still love it. It'll be something I'll mention probably in later videos all the time. I don't know.
I think sometimes I read something and I give it a 4 at the time, and then some 4 stars I'm like, sure, and then some just stay with me.
Yes.
And the more I think about it, the more I'm like, you know what? I think about this book all the time. This is probably really a 5.
Yeah.
And I don't necessarily
You know what? I feel that way too.
Yeah,
But
that's what happened with me with No Exit. I gave it 4.5, and then I bumped it to 5.
I think it was The 7 Husbands of Evelyn Hugo. I gave like 4.5 stars. I still think about it till today. Like it should be
5 out of 5.
I'm going back to Goodreads and like changing my rating.
I love that book so
But
much.
I'm like, why did I even give it a 4.5? I have no idea.
right.
I don't know.
But
I
also,
gave it a 4.5. And I still think about it now, and I recommend it to people all of the
Me
time.
too. Me too.
It should have been 5.
but then I'm just also the problem with this argument. They were saying that I should be on the debate team, but we don't even have that at my school. But she was inconsistent. She was inconsistent because I don't know if you guys know the 5th season. It's an adult fantasy.
Yeah.
It's super genius. I read it. I gave it 3.5 stars because I was hella confused the whole time. But I could tell it was brilliant. It just wasn't for me. So I gave it 3.5. But then she was like, she also gave it 3 stars. And I was like, but you acknowledged that it was really good. You just were confused. So you gave it 3 stars. But if you're going to be reviewing objectively, shouldn't you give it 5 out of 5? I was like, this is inconsistent, man. Like, if you're gonna go with it, do it with your whole chest. Like, go out there.
Say it.
Like, it really, I was like, this is inconsistent. I cannot with this. Mm-mm.
I feel that way too. I get what you're talking about. I feel like I'm all over the place with my ratings. So
Yeah, me too.
I never
me,
rate
it's a
anything like I only have one book that I gave 1 star.
Oh my God. I give it out all the time.
But like I don't.
Kat is like, I give them away like they're candy.
That's my friend.
Yeah,
The one that read 120 books, he does that too. He gave Crescent City 1 star, and I cried. I was like,
I've never read that. I really want to.
I haven't read it either.
Like, I'm like, I understand if you didn't like it, but 1 star is kind of pushing it. Like
Yeah.
it's not 1 star. Like 1 star for me means I hated it. Like I loathed it. Like I want to burn it so bad. Like there's only one book I think that I've given 1 star and a couple that I've given 1.5. So I'm like, he doesn't even hate it. He just doesn't like it. And I'm like, that's a 2 star then. Like why? And then
not like people's ratings this
go back and forth about Sarah. I'm like, why you be attacking Sarah like leave her alone?
I haven't read it yet, but I have it and I plan to read it. It'll be my first Sarah J. Maas. but I'm so ready to read it.
Crescent City is so good. I will tell you.
I'm saving fantasy for fall because I really want to read some more fantasy in fall. But I don't know. I'm just so into horror right now. Like I can't.
Same.
But I will tell you that Crescent City, it's not perfect, but it's still 5 out of 5. Like the writing could be better a little bit. It was pretty good. The world building kind of confusing because there's all these creatures in it, but it made me cry. So it was 5 out of 5. I was sobbing like a baby. That's the only book that's made me cry like that hard this year. I was crying for 3 hours.
I've heard a lot of people cry because of that book. I'm gonna
ending. It wasn't sad. It wasn't sad. I guess the beginning's kind of sad because it kind of flips, but the end isn't sad. That's where I cried. It's just like emotional. It's not sad.
No,
I wouldn't say that's sad.
Oh, Keelan said, from an author's perspective, if I don't get a healthy dose of 1-star reviews for every book, I start to think there's a conspiracy. And well, his books are good though. I mean, I've never seen anyone give a Keelan book 1 star, but
man, my introduction to Keelan was Kin, and woo!
I have read only his short stories so far. So
oh my gosh, you have to read Kin.
Well, my plan is to do like hopefully a vlog where I read several of his books. I really, I want to
try it out.
Yeah, I want to push him out there too because like I feel like a lot of people are sleeping on his horror.
Yeah, I haven't read any yet, but like now I want to because he's super funny. So I'm
like, I know my husband's read Sour.
Monica's reading My Best Friend's Exorcism, and she said, I don't think I set the bar too. I think I set the bar too high because I'm not loving it as much as Southern Book Club. I like Southern Book Club more than My Best Friend's Exorcism, but I still love My Best Friend's Exorcism.
The Southern Book Club is so good.
Best Friend's Exorcism first, like a couple years ago.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And honestly, I kind of gave it a 3. And then upon thinking about it, it's more like 4.
Right.
Because I really did like it, and there were a lot of creepy parts. I think the ending started to fall apart for me, and that's why at the time I gave it a 3. But no, and I gave both of those a 4. I think they're great.
Hey, would you guys do me a favor?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I wrote this short story for school I have to turn in tomorrow. That's like creepy, and I've been having all these people look at it, but they don't read creepy things. I'm like, I feel like they should read it.
Mm-hmm.
I'll read it for you.
Yeah. Send it to me.
Yeah. It's only 4 pages, only like 4 like Google Doc pages.
I'll read it.
But okay, I'm just warning you. If you're like, what is this object doing in here? Why is it relevant? It's because the prompt was like, she finds keys, then she finds a cup, then she finds a man-made structure, then she finds a body of water, then there's a wall, and then what's on the other side of the wall?
Oh, so you kind of have to like play with that or whatever.
Yeah.
Okay. That's cool.
So if you're like,
I put my email in our chat, so just email it to me.
Yeah, send it to us.
Put it in the chat. So,
you guys have any like final things to say before I close this out? Like, what are you guys doing? Like, do you guys have anything going on with your channels? Anything like that? I'm definitely thinking of a Keelan vlog pretty soon because I mean, I think that'll be a lot of fun, and I have nothing going on in September. So,
someone said a Keelan readathon.
A whole readathon.
Keelan-a-thon.
Yeah.
The koala-a-thon.
Butter. Oh my gosh, I love it.
The only thing for me right now is I started a book club, but it's like a romance book club. It's called New to Swoon, and we're just going through each month and doing a trope, and then 3 books. So like this month, September is our first month, and we chose like 3 sports romances, and then put a poll, and then whichever one we read, and then we're having like a guest each month. So this month we're reading Intercepted, and then we have
heard of that.
Yeah, we have Bree from In Love and Words being our guest.
Oh, cool.
You have.
I like the name of it.
Instagram or anything?
A Twitter. It's just called New to Swoon.
New to Swoon. I like that.
I need to look now. This is for September.
Yeah, September.
Cool.
And our live show date is, let me check, September 27th, which is a Sunday. And also, we have this read along that I'm having for An Ember in the Ashes series. and I'm reading the first book in September.
I love the first book so much.
I know. I just read it in June, but then I'm rereading it in September. But the first live show for An Ember in the Ashes is on the 3rd of October, which I love because that's Mean Girls Day, and we're all gonna wear pink, and it's gonna be great.
I love that.
I love it. That's so awesome.
I don't even know if I own pink. I'll buy a shirt or something. I don't know.
I don't have nothing going on. It's only my birthday month, so.
What's your birthday month?
It's September 8th. And I don't have anything planned other than the only special thing that's going up on my channel is like a Nightworms vlog that I'm doing, which would go up on the Nightworms blog as well. And just, my regular content.
Yeah.
I'm not very creative.
Yeah. I'm vlogging right now for Summer Ween, so that'll be up whenever we finish.
Right, you are too, right? Yeah.
Finish editing.
Interested in y'all's vlogs.
Yeah, it's gonna be boring because I'm only at home, like just doing nothing, physical therapy. But I mean, my daughter's birthday is on Saturday, so there'll be some little cute.
Oh, happy birthday to the baby!
I'm so excited! I was
You have the best sign for a daughter. The best. Virgos. I mean, the best.
She's gonna be great. I know she's gonna tell me what's what. I already know it. But like, yeah.
Oh yeah,
I'm excited and I'm like sad. But
what
is?
Oh, the buzzwordathon, the last buzzwordathon. I mean, it's not the last.
When is that?
Night.
Next month.
Next month.
I think I'll probably do
like that. I think I'll do that too.
Yeah, I'm going to participate in that one. And then I'm also going to participate in the Fall Back into Reading-a-thon.
Oh, okay.
I'm going to participate in that one.
Yeah, I'm going to do the buzzwordathon, but I'm going to just read one book, and then I'm going to call it a day.
And then I want to participate, but I don't have any books that have night in it. I only have one on my TBR.
Okay, wait.
I only have one too, Kat.
Wait, is it the night swim?
Yes.
Oh, okay. I was like,
I have the night swim too. I just got it.
It's literally the only thing.
I'm also participating in Becca's Bookopoly. She did like a 40-hour readathon, and now she's doing month-long. And I literally recreated this whole board. And I did 8 rolls, and I don't know why I did that to myself. But look, I'll show you my board. Hold on.
Amy, just regularly scheduled content. You might do Buzzwordathon.
I do think I'll do Buzzwordathon. I'm gonna try to film this weekend.
Oh wow!
Oh my gosh, Deja, that's so good.
That is so cool.
Don't look at it up close. It kind of looks crusty.
That's how I feel like when I make anything. I feel
look at this edge. I had to cut it. You see that? You don't look at that. That was the edge that was farthest away from the camera. I was like, I'm gonna just put that over there, and
all right. Well, I had so much fun talking about this weird book with you guys.
I did too.
Sticks around and wants to read some more weird stuff with us, and
can't wait for our next book.
I know. So I'm gonna put a poll up on my Instagram. I'll do it tomorrow morning. So we're gonna discuss it amongst each other. Get the 2 books that we want to put in the poll, and then I'll post that on my Instagram. So make sure you're following me over there, and then you can get all the details for that when we pick our book, and then hopefully I'll just probably go ahead and end up making a Instagram account for the book club. I just need to.
I think that'll be good.
Yeah,
it'll be a lot of fun. But thank you guys so much for joining us. It was
Thank you.
Bye.